Today, we need to talk about something that's happening in, well, pretty much every home across the country. It's this quiet, almost invisible redesign of American childhood. So we're going to ask a really big question. How is all this technology actually shaping the minds of the next generation? Just let that quote sink in for a second. We're not just talking about new gadgets or cool apps here. We're talking about a fundamental rewiring of an entire generation, and it's all happening in real time. And as we're about to see, the stakes, they honestly could not be higher. So the big question is, how did we get here? Well, it all starts with this massive shift in what it even means to be a kid in America right now. You know, a lot of us remember a childhood that was all about scraped knees and neighborhood games, right? A totally play-based world. But today's childhood, it's increasingly phone-based. It's so much quieter, way more isolated, and a lot of it is lived through a glowing screen. The contrast is, it's just night and day. Okay, this single number really shows you the staggering scale of this change. Get this, by the time they are just 12 years old, the average American kid has spent more time looking at a screen than they have spent inside a classroom. Just think about that. More time scrolling than learning algebra or history.
And this really leads us to the blind spot of our super-connected era. I mean, while we've been celebrating all this amazing technological progress, a kind of silent crisis has been creeping in. A generation that's struggling with levels of loneliness, anxiety, and just shattered attention that we've never seen before. But why is this even happening? Is it just that kids have less willpower these days? No, not at all. There is some really powerful, really intentional science at play here. And to get it, we've got to talk about something called the dopamine trap.
You know, this isn't some accident. It's literally a business model. The platforms our kids are on all day are built with something called persuasive technology. And the goal isn't just to entertain them, the goal is to actively change their behavior, to keep them hooked, using things like infinite scroll, autoplay videos, push notifications, the whole shebang.
And here's exactly how they do it. It's a simple, but man, is it a powerful loop. You scroll, you get an unpredictable reward, maybe a like, maybe a comment. Your brain releases a little hit of dopamine, that pleasure chemical. It is the exact same mechanism as a slot machine in Las Vegas. And because of that, you immediately crave another hit, and then another. So the long-term effect of all this constant stimulation is really profound. A kid's brain just adapts. It starts needing bigger and bigger hits to feel anything at all. And the result? The simple, quiet joys of life, reading a book, taking a walk, having a real conversation, they all start to feel painfully dull and uninteresting. Now, this rewiring of the individual brain, it has these massive social consequences, because the very same platforms that are promising us connection are ironically fueling an absolute epidemic of loneliness.
And this brings us to what's called the perfection paradox. See, in the past, you might have compared yourself to a few friends at school, but today, kids are constantly comparing their own messy, real lives to these perfectly filtered, algorithm-approved highlight reels of literally thousands of people online, all day, every single day. And the data here is just devastating. This isn't a feeling, it's a measurable crisis. Just look at this chart. In just the last 10 years, right as this phone-based childhood really took over, the rates of depression among American girls have nearly doubled. That's a staggering, truly heartbreaking statistic. So, what are we losing in this trade-off? Well, it seems we've traded the hard work of building deep, local friendships, the kind that require you to be vulnerable and actually present, for the easy buzz of shallow global validation. 1,000 likes from strangers just can't replace one true friend who really knows you.
Okay, so let's shift gears and look ahead. If these trends just keep going, what does the future actually look like? Well, a lot of people think we are heading toward a really stark cognitive divide in this country. The idea is that by 2030, our youth will basically be sorted onto two very different paths. On one side, you'll have the digital consumers. Their attention is constantly being harvested by algorithms, leaving them with fragmented focus and chronic anxiety. And on the other side, the digital creators. These are the ones who were taught to use technology as a tool, not as a pacifier, which allowed them to develop deep focus and master really valuable skills. And look, this isn't just about personal happiness. This is about the future of our economy and who leads it. The ability to just concentrate, to think deeply about a tough problem without getting distracted, that's going to become a superpower. The people who have it are going to be the ones who build and lead the future. But this future is not set in stone. Not at all.
Across the country, there is a lot of hope. A real pushback is starting to build as parents, educators, even politicians are finally waking up to the crisis.
And things are really starting to shift. We're seeing actual policy changes, like states moving to ban phones in schools. We're seeing grassroots parent movements like Wait Until 8th get really popular. And for maybe the first time, there's some serious, sustained public and political pressure being put on big tech. At the end of the day, I think we're all realizing what's truly at stake here. The attention and the mental health of an entire generation. It's just not a commodity that should be auctioned off to whichever company has the most addictive algorithm. It really all boils down to this simple truth. We have to decide who is in control. Are we going to master our technology and use it to build a better future? Or are we going to sit back and allow it to master us?
Look, this whole conversation is so far from over. In fact, it feels like it's just getting started. It's happening in kitchens and at school board meetings all over the country. So, I want to pass it over to you. What's the phone rule in your house? How are you and your family navigating this new world?